You are having fantastic Thursdays, wherever you may be across this great country or this great land. We got a lot to dive into tonight, today, this afternoon, whatever you want to say. But right off the top, Super Bowl, 3 days away. 3 days from now, the Super Bowl will be underway, and I have got a deal for you, 55-1 payout. FanDuel.com/Clay, Tennessee, Virginia, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, West Virginia, Colorado, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, 10 different states. New users bet $5. And if you pick the right winner between the Chiefs and the Bucks, you win back $275. Go get a friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, family member, whoever it might be. Take the other side. The two of you can bet a total of $10, and you will be guaranteed to win $275. That is FanDuel.com/Clay. One more time, FanDuel.com/Clay. A couple of gambling picks that I want to give you here. I'll give you my Super Bowl picks tomorrow, but I think there's good value right now on some MVP props. In particular, everybody's putting their money on Brady and on Mahomes, and that makes sense because in the last 20 MVPs, I actually jotted down some notes. 12 of the Super Bowl MVPs have been quarterbacks, 4 have been wide receivers, and 4 have been on the defensive side of the ball. So in the last 20 years, no running backs have been MVPs. 3 long shots that I like that could have a chance if the defense comes to make some plays. First of all, Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. He has right now a 50-1 payout on being MVP. How could he win? Well, Brady's been a little bit lax with the football. He loves to jump routes. I could see him picking off a couple of times, Tom Brady, maybe even having a pick six. That could lead the Honey Badger to being the Super Bowl MVP if everything broke in his direction. 50-1. $10 bet returns $500. How about 2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers? If you think the Bucs are going to win, their pathway to winning the Super Bowl, in my opinion, is through their defensive line. Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul put a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers. The Bucs defense had 5 sacks against Aaron Rodgers. Kansas City Chief offensive line has got major injury issues on it. If Shaq Barrett and also Jason Pierre-Paul make plays, you can get some real value here. 60-1 on Shaq Barrett, 100-1 on Jason Pierre-Paul. What about a strip sack? What about picking up the football, scoring on a run for the defense? I can see these guys. My best win, by the way, on Super Bowl MVP happened a few years ago when I told you to take the defense in the Denver Bronco game against the Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. And Von Miller, 20-1, won the Super Bowl MVP. That's a heck of a payout. These 3 guys I just gave you, Mathieu 50-1, 60-1 on Shaq Barrett, and 100-1 basically. These are all at FanDuel.com/Clay. 100-1 right now on Jason Pierre-Paul. I can't wait for this matchup between Brady and Mahomes. In fact, if you break down Super Bowls over the last 25 years, I think this is one of the 3 best quarterback matchups we have ever seen. Let me explain. Best quarterback matchups of the last 25 years in the Super Bowl, John Elway against Brett Favre. That is one of the 3 best. Peyton Manning against Drew Brees. I believe this is the best matchup we have ever seen in the last 25 years of the Super Bowl. Tom Brady against Patrick Mahomes. We're talking about this, obviously, a lot on the radio program. Loaded show, by the way, tomorrow. Encourage you to go check it out. Make sure you don't miss it. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will be on with us in the 3rd hour. Dr. David Chow, as well as Frank Isola. And by the way, lots going on. If you're not paying attention to the OutKick radio program, we've had a lot of different cool guests and interesting guests. Yesterday, the Wins and Losses podcast, we had on Ted Cruz. Really entertaining conversation. He's a big sports fan, Houston area sports fan. I'd encourage you to go check it out. We've been doing the Wins and Losses podcast now for 2 years. These are long-form conversations with almost no commercials over 40 of them now. Kirk Herbstreit, Paul Feinbaum, Commissioner of the SEC, Greg Sankey, Commissioner of the Big Ten, Kevin Warren, as well as a lot of different media, political, and business figures. President of the United States we've put on, Ted Cruz. I think you guys will enjoy Josh Hawley's a senator. A lot of different things that you can learn from those podcasts. Encourage you to go check them out. Yesterday, National Signing Day, officially up and done. And I will write on this a little bit later this week, maybe even this weekend. The Alabama recruiting class dominance is off the charts. This is one of the best classes, if not the best class, that not only Nick Saban has ever signed, that anyone has ever signed in the history of college football. As if Bama wasn't already rolling, the Tide brought in a level of talent that we have never seen before, potentially in college football. And as I have been telling you guys for a long time, you win championships with top 10 recruiting classes. 3 of the 4 top 10 recruiting classes have to be in the bank in order for you to win a national championship. That's what has happened in the playoff era. I'm going to write on this, and I'll put it out for you in context. But for everybody out there who wonders how many teams can win a national championship, basically, you have to have the talent of a top 10 caliber, at least 3 of the 4 seasons before you win a championship. And most of the years, you're going to have a top 10 recruiting class 4 straight years in order to have the depth and the dominance to be able to win a championship. So Nick Saban and Alabama getting it done again. What else is new? Ohio State Buckeyes finished with the second best class according to the 247 Composite Index. Then we've got a top 5 of Clemson, LSU, and Georgia, all inside of that top 5. I would say the team that is the most surprising, maybe that people are not used to seeing, is Oregon, which finished within the 6th spot with 19 different 4-stars. Incredible job by Mario Cristobal there. Notre Dame continues to recruit well under Brian Kelly. Michigan finished well. And Texas A&M under Jimbo Fisher did very well also. That is effectively your top 10 according to the 24/7 Composite Sports Index of classes. Carson Wentz. All of these different quarterbacks are on the trade block. It's really remarkable to see. Carson Wentz now evidently on the trade block. The Eagles are fielding calls. They say that they want to stay committed to Carson Wentz, but there are a lot of teams reaching out potentially to express interest in Wentz. Here's the deal for the Eagles. I think you almost have to trade Carson Wentz at this point. I really do. Because otherwise, I don't understand what you're doing with Jalen Hurts. What is Jalen Hurts going to be effectively worth? Unless you can turn him into a Swiss Army knife like Taysom Hill. Why did you draft him in the 2nd round? How are you going to use him? How does he fit into your offense going forward? It doesn't make sense to have both of those guys. And you've spent a lot of money on Carson Wentz. If you aren't convinced that he is the quarterback of the future, which you must not be if you drafted Jalen Hurts, what are you doing exactly with that huge dollar commitment to Carson Wentz going forward? Either you move on from Jalen Hurts or you move on from Carson Wentz. It doesn't make sense to me at all unless you can turn Jalen Hurts into Taysom Hill. But Carson Wentz is a lot younger than Drew Brees. This whole situation for the Eagles seems like a dumpster fire. If you get the right offer, I would move on if I'm the Eagles and start to figure out whether Jalen Hurts is the guy. If he's not, then you could go on back into the draft and get someone else in the near future. This story, I'm surprised isn't getting more attention. I'm excited for Major League Baseball to come back. I've talked with you guys a great deal about how much my son has become an Atlanta Braves fan. This summer, this spring, whenever the Major League Baseball season starts and that park opens back up at the Battery in Atlanta, I'm taking my 10-year-old down there. We are going to sit and watch a bunch of games. I can't wait to be back in the stands for Major League Baseball. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a debate right now about when exactly the season is going to start. And according to a report in the Sports Business Journal, Joe Biden's administration is trying to persuade Major League Baseball to delay the start of the season by a month. Why exactly this would be, I'm assuming because they think there'll be less virus issues in a month than there is right now. but why the Biden administration is getting involved in trying to slow down baseball is really unclear to me. Because right now it seems that they're planning on playing a 162-game season, starting spring training sooner rather than later. The season would, I believe, begin right around April 1st, and I'm ready to go. I want fans to be in the stands for every single game. We did it for college football. We did it for the NFL. We're doing it for the NFL, for the Super Bowl. Lots of teams out there in the NBA are now allowing fans. I don't understand why in the world they would be trying to delay the start of baseball season. I believe by the summer, we should have full stadiums. Everybody should be able to go to games, every seat available for anybody who wants to attend. I'm sure there will still be some trepidation, some nervousness, some uncertainty from people out there, but I want baseball to play a 162-game season. We just finished the full NFL season, or we will on Sunday. I'm rooting for baseball to come roaring back. I don't think that the Biden administration should be getting involved. I want this rolling, and I can't wait to be able to watch games. We're in the thick of winter, as many of you know, and there are storms out there, and you know what that means. It's time for you to get back out there on the cycle and get your man regions trimmed. Well, thanks to my friends at Manscaped. It's also almost Valentine's Day right now, and you need to make sure that you don't embarrass yourself. You need to make sure that your balls will thank you based on an incredible offer that exists right now at Manscaped. Look, Valentine's Day is important. Women pick out the underwear that they are going to wear for Valentine's Day like a month in advance, if you're lucky. Men oftentimes decide, and I know I'm one of you, we often decide like 10 minutes beforehand what we're actually going to wear. In fact, I can't even tell you right now which OutKick t-shirt I'm wearing until I just look down. We are not necessarily experts in grooming. That is why we need Manscaped to help take care of us. They will hook you up. They help to make sure that if you're trimming your nether regions, you don't end up slicing yourself all to heck. If you've ever done that before, you know how painful it can be. Thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology, your snags will be reduced in a big way. Also, we need the Lawnmower 3.0. It takes care of your ear and nose hair. That starts to build up. Also, brand new boxers. Tons of deodorizers out there for your below-the-belt region. And the Crop Reviver spray-on toner with soothing aloe and witch hazel extracts. I don't even know what that is. I know that your girlfriend or your wife is going to be impressed. Right now, you can get 20% off and free shipping if you go to manscaped.com and use the code DBAP20. Again, that's 20% off and free shipping with the code DBAP20 at manscaped.com. 20% off, free shipping, DBAP20. Use the code DBAP20. Hook yourself up right now. Hey, ladies, maybe you're watching right now and you're like, my man definitely needs some of these products. You can go to manscaped.com, DBAP20 for 20% off everything and free shipping at manscaped.com. All right, couple of other topics that I want to dive into here. Did you see this story? One of the things that bothers me the most about cancel culture is it never ends. So the Cleveland Indians are changing their mascot. They are constantly being attacked. We know that happened. We know that everybody, as soon as one team, the Washington Redskins, changed their team, their logo and their name, people moved on to the Cleveland Indians. Now they're on to the Atlanta Braves and also the Kansas City Chiefs. And so right now with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, the usual woke suspects are out there, and they are just talking about all of the tomahawk chants and everything else that is associated with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. People don't care very much about the Chiefs when they don't win. Then they get Patrick Mahomes, and they start to win at a high level, and suddenly they're next up on the proverbial chopping block. I don't know where this ends. I have said for a long time, look, if you promise me that woke sports will just leave us all alone, if I could sit down at the negotiating table with the perpetually aggrieved, the perpetually upset, the woke sports universe, and I could just sit down with them and I could say, hey, let's think about this for a moment. Can we stop the tomahawk chant? I don't think that makes sense. I think it's cool what the Braves do it. I also think it's cool that the Chiefs do it. But what if we change the mascots? Right? I don't really care. Where does it end? That's the problem. It never actually ends. There's always something new for all of these losers to always find to be obsessed with. There's always a next obstacle that you have to cross, another issue, another concern of theirs. It never ends. Washington changes their name. They move on to the Indians. Now we're on to the Braves and the Chiefs. And if the Braves and the Chiefs are changed, before long, people are going to be offended by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish nickname. I'm telling you, it doesn't end. It doesn't ever end. It's a constant cycle of being falsely offended, what I call faux rage. It just continues to roll down the mountain forever. And so I hope the Chiefs say, no, we're not changing anything. Deal with it. We're going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to continue the tomahawk chant. That's the end of it. I hope the Braves are willing to say the same thing when they come back this season. And if you need me to negotiate against woke America, I would like to just end this debate once and for all, figure out a compromise, and then everybody has to shut up, and we never have to talk about any of this again. Speaking of shutting up, AOC went on and claimed that she feared for her life on January 6th, that she thought she was going to be killed. And she later blamed Ted Cruz for potentially getting her killed. This is just a lie. She was in a House office building under no danger, a congressional office building. For anybody who has actually ever walked the halls of Congress, your boy here, back when I was in high school, I used to give a tour of the Capitol. That's what I did. I would give tours of the Capitol when I was in college, and I would walk people all the way through. This is pre-9/11. There were not a lot of restrictions in terms of where we could go. As long as the House and the Senate were out of session, I could walk right onto the House and the Senate floors. I could take them anywhere in the United States Capitol building. If you have ever walked around the halls of Congress, there are massive distances from the House offices, which are outside of the main Capitol building in their own buildings, and the actual United States Capitol itself. In fact, the people who were in the congressional offices were never under the least bit of danger. Now AOC is claiming that she feared for her life, and the data doesn't actually reflect that that's remotely true. Candace Owens, who does a really good job on social media, has called her out for that fear and has done a pretty fantastic job. If you want to be entertained, you can read about this. But claiming falsely that you were in danger of being killed should be a major issue for a public figure. Not surprisingly, the media doesn't call, by and large, AOC to task for these lies at all. They cover for her. It is ridiculous. Again, could we not just get a media that comes back and treats everybody equally? It's what I try to do every single day, and it drives people crazy. Don't use identity politics to justify what you say or don't say. Treat everybody the exact same, regardless of the color of skin, regardless of their race, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of where they're from or who they love. It's a radical proposition, I know, but that's what we do at OutKick every single day. DBAP, unless you need to SBAP, I am Clay Travis. I will be live on television in about 1 hour on Fox Bet Live. Loaded show tomorrow. Friday edition of the program, getting you ready for the Super Bowl on Sunday. FanDuel.com/Clay is the website. 55-1 payout. Pick either the Chiefs or the Bucks. That's FanDuel.com/Clay. Virginia, Michigan, and Tennessee, you're the three most recent on the list. Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, West Virginia, Colorado, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey are the other 7. But there are a bunch of states that are going to go legal in 2021. You can sign up as well right now at FanDuel.com/Clay. Love all of you. My name is Clay Travis. DBAP, unless you need to SBAT.